We're here at day 2 Weber State practice. It is hotter than fuck, and I mean hot. It's 102 degrees. Air quality is horrific, but a lot of new numbers. So last year you came here and it looked like a triage unit. I mean, there was so many injured players. It was unbelievable. All the running backs injured. So they're all healthy. They're going to be loaded at running back, really loaded. Major Givens, they're going to have, of course, the best player on this team, Bankston. He's a superstar. And Comey's moved from number 35 to 2. I see Jalen Record, the wide out, is wearing 4. Of course, Bankston 1. They got Jennings. He's wearing 19. He's the backup quarterback. And then Gutierrez, was hurt last year. All those running backs are hurt last year. Major Givens is wearing 30 this year. So it's a different dynamic. They were so beat up and it was unbelievable. All those running backs went down. Schultz-Thomas transferred. But it's going to be all about those running backs, I'm telling you. Bankston is all that. I mean, his yard per carry ratio, he ain't Trevon Smith, but nobody's Trevon Smith, the greatest player in the history of this school until Rashid Shaheed came around. And remember, all you doubters, the best KUPP secret in KUPP in all of sport is Big Sky football. Oh, I'm telling you, and the prices are good. It's way better than going down to the University of Utah. Let's see, 6 guys in the NFL off the same team. Yeah, you heard me right. 6 guys in the NFL. The highest paid nickelback in the history of the NFL. Before I talk about those guys, Teron Johnson. We got a new TJ here, but Jalen Rock's wearing 0. So I think they're going to be way better than people think. They lost all those great All-Americans. The incredible Abraham Williams is at Idaho. He's an NFL superstar in the making. I call him Thunder after Lightning Machine. So he's all that, then some. World-class sprinter. He's something else. I predict he'll be the MVP of the league. So Baron Bronson, our great quarterback here that went to Western Kentucky to get on the field, and that kid pulled out of the draft, came back. So he's going to be playing at Southern Utah. We're going to have our eyes on him. How about our All-American punter here? Jumping Jack. He left. He's at Texas Tech. So we're going to be watching him. Of course, Collins, that great DB, he's at BYU. Jack Kelly, the superstar world champion BMX bike rider. Yeah. Only played football for a few. There's an NFL superstar in the making. Jack Kelly, he's at BYU. So we're going to have to hold our nose and watch BYU but, we're still Weber State. Weber State's loaded with talent. Bankston. And then it's going to be this defensive front 4. Talk about a fearsome foursome. Talk about purple people eaters. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you. Birch, Thompson, Matt Herron, and Wilson. These guys are something else. So this will be the best front 4 in the not in the history of the school. Oh, no. They'll never pass that. That's 27, 2018, 2019. That's with George and the incredible Adam Rodriguez. And it's sad that we got new turf. And remember, they practiced over there yesterday on the practice field. The new turf. So, spent the extra money on this. They spent a lot of money. This is the same company. One of the kids that put it in, well, he's not a kid, grown man, played here with Rashid. They spent the extra money on this. They spent a lot of money on this freaking. But the field before, which, I didn't name it the death turf. Maybe Josh did, Josh Davis, one of the greatest players in the history. Oh, yeah. But he got tore up, his ankle, on the death turf here. It ain't no death turf now. This turf is freaking the shit. So Still hot. It's still artificial, but they spent the extra money. It's brand new. Last year it looked like looked like a fucking emergency room around here. You should have seen the triage. I mean, you go to the hospital, you should have seen it. Just everybody is beat up. I mean, they lost 4 or 5 running backs to knee torn ligaments within 2 weeks, including Banks. And Banks had a $169 in that Northern Iowa game, and they won at Northern Iowa. That's a big win. And then as Bankston goes, I said the team will go, and that's what happened. But this year, that Final Four, now they're young, got a brand new offensive line, but we have a legendary offensive line coach, the incredible Coach Myers. I talked to him yesterday. Oh, he'll have them ready. He always does. Now, Richie, last year, had that big game against Cal Poly. Sharp. Oh, he's sharp. He'll be ready. Do I think he'll be the best wide out here? Yeah. You know, jumper. A bunch of good young. But I think it's going to be the running game here. It's going to be, Cormier, he's wearing 2 from Texas. He looks really good. 1, 2. We know the number 1 here is the number. Damian Lillard wore 1, but so did Teron Johnson wore 1. Of course, the great Rashid Shaheed wore 8, then 22, the new Bob Hayes. So on the same team, Mr. Opeta, I was at the combine when Opeta over here on Pro Day. He broke the 225 bar record by 7 or 8 reps. I mean, the all-time record, still holds it. He's with Tampa Bay now. So the incredible Jonah Williams. Oh my God, what a player. He's with the Vikings now. Of course, Teron Johnson, the superstar with the Bills, highest paid nickelback in the history of the NFL. Of course, then you got probably the greatest player who ever played here. Trevon Smith died tragically in a jail cell. He was my favorite. I loved watching that fucker play. Oh my, I could write a whole book just on him. His tragic end. Fuck, what a player. I always felt he'd be an NFL superstar. He's the best player in the history. 45, 46, 4,700 total yards, 44 touchdowns. I mean, now the greatest player in the history of this school is Rashid Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed, who's, by the way, making the league minimum after being in the Pro Bowl. I really believe he's got a chance at being NFL MVP this year because of we got the new kickoff rule, which I call Rashid Shaheed rule. Oh, fuck, watch him go. Which, that sure bodes well for the incredible Abraham Williams West High School. Abraham Williams right over there in the gym ran the fastest 6 and he didn't even train for it in the indoor track meet in 60 years here. It's saying a lot. This is a legendary track program here. And so that front 4 will be badass, I'm telling you. Wilson's the All-American. I'm not even sure he's the best of the 4. Matt Herron, Layton High School, Birch, Thompson. Both of those are badasses. Now, they use this slot because Duff is a mini-me Jay Hill. Jay Hill invented this, really, where he brings that up off the edge on the end. He has that lean defensive end who's really a linebacker, he'll drop clear back to safety. That was Jay Hill. I mean, Jay Hill, the greatest coach in the history of this, go by about 100 miles. And then, of course, DB, they're going to be very, very young and, green. But just remember, Andre Dyson is the DB coach here. I think he's the best DB coach in the country. He was a great DB in the NFL, and he's born and raised from here. Well, I always say Jay Hill and him were both such great defensive DBs and great defensive coaches. Well, when they played at the University of Utah, who they asked to go up and practice against every day? Steve Smith Jr. Could be. Steve Smith Jr. might be my favorite player in NFL history. Well, Bob Hayes is still my favorite player. Tell that Rashid. So, Adam Rodriguez, is he in the NFL this year? There's rumors. Now, Maxwell Anderson, has he made the practice squad for the 49ers? I haven't heard. But That dude's one badass. He reminds me of TJ so much. So I think that, you know, and I haven't heard about Eddie Hecker. Is he on a practice squad? They're going to be way better than you fucking think. Way better. And I think it's going to be the running game. I do. I mean, I have a lot of belief in Coach Meyer's offensive line. He's my favorite coach here. And Andre Dyson, they'll be young as hell. But the Big Sky is going to be fucking loaded. And I mean, you know how they play with that fucking run throw quarterback. You know, Montana State, oh, look out, of course. Sac State, oh, fuck. Montana comes out of nowhere. They got the coach back. They were picked 7th last year. They were in the national championship. I think North Dakota's going to get knocked over by a Big Sky team this year. Who do I think is going to win the Big Sky? Idaho. I think Abraham Williams will be the MVP, but I think Weber State's going to be much, much better than you think. We lost our All-American punter, which is going to hurt. Fuck. I think he'll play in the NFL, Jack. So, of course, Jack Kelly. Oh, my God. And then, of course, I haven't talked about the other NFL player we got, Winston Reed. Yeah, for the Browns. I called that one out for that fucking walk-on. I remember doing the play-by-play when his dad played here. So me and Billy was talking. He coached over at Ben Lomond. When he played here in those teams with Trevon Smith. We're going to dedicate the entire season, Kevin and I. We'll do our vlog and blog. There's a lot of people politicking over for basketball want me to do the play-by-play. I said, they ain't going to hire me. They fucking hate me. Fucking, it's like the school business running in. The way they treat me is fucking beyond obscene, disgusting. But a lot of people politicking for me to do the play-by-play again for basketball, at least. Baggett does the, oh, fuck, you gotta go. I mean, but the legend is dead. Steve Clarkey was killed in the crosswalk in broad daylight in the middle of the crosswalk, just walking to the store from his house. He was killed. The legend. The greatest announcer we ever had at Weber State? Oh, fuck yes. He did basketball and football. So we'll dedicate the whole season to Clarkey, basketball and football, and go Dylan Jones in the NBA. Of course, go Damian Lillard. He'll be back. Do not kid yourself. Don't count that fucker out. Of course, TJ, John Johnson. But it's going to be all about Rashid Shaheed this year, I think. League minimum. And by the way, who's the dumbest people on the fucking planet? Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be university professors who have turned into AK Brewer. Kevin Blanch, when we were the #1 school business in the country, and I was the guy that ran the whole fucking program. Well, when you kick Michael Jordan off the Bulls, you think they'd be any good? We go from first to worst? Yeah. Fuck, blackball me. Blackball me. I'm still fucking here, given 2 months to live. Everything they've done to me, and I'm pissed off at the president of the university. I'm pissed off at a lot of fucking people around here, but not all these assistant coaches. I don't like the athletic department here, but whatever. It is what it is. But I sure like the players. I got to show you this. Young Chevrolet gave everybody 25 coaches these Jeeps. Don't drive them on the freeway. I've drove one of those on the freeway. They're fucking dangerous. It's hot and dry. 25 of them. Like, these overpaid fucking coaches need fucking more money. What about these players? Fuck. Student athlete is no fucking joke. Do not kid yourself. Sharp will be sharp. And I always tell this story. Well, I haven't. I just started telling it. I don't know if he's related to Shannon. But when I was going to school here, doing my undergraduate work, long ago, I was a BIS student, biology. #1, I mean, our biology department, right there, fuck. Dr. Winterton. The only building left, fuck, when we were a powerhouse. School business, DeWatis, the legendary Clyde Cooley. I was being molded and groomed to take over his program when he died tragically. And then fine art. You know, my academia advisor was Shannon Sharp's biological aunt. Feel just like him. I loved her. She was so good. She helped me out a lot. back in the day when we were the #1 school business in the, well, we were, fuck, this school is incredible academic-wise. Remember, I worked for Handley, the All-American football player who wanted to turn this into men's soccer. Now, they got the death penalty, and Jay Hill turned this Titanic. And how did Jay Hill turn the Titanic around? He took a chance on players. Rashid Shaheed got one football scholarship offer in the country. You heard me right, one, Weber State. All those players I just said, 6 of them NFL players, well, 7 actually if you count Adam Rodriguez, he could play. Did you know they got one scholarship fucking offer in the country? One. All of them, including Teron Johnson, including Rashid Shaheed, including Mr. Opeta, including fucking Jonah Williams. Winston Reed's a fucking walk-on. Jay inked him up. Said, oh yeah, we'll take you. He took chances on players that he knew were fucking athletic and fucking incredible, and a lot of these guys are still Jay Hill guys. Oh, Need from Sugar City, that athletic. You gotta see him tumble the world-class tumbler. Big, strong, tight end. So they got a lot of fucking talent. All those guys, nobody gave them the time of day. One guy did, Jay Hill. Jay Hill started recruiting local players. Jay Hill started doing a combine over here. They had it again this year. You know, they didn't have it last year. So that purple people eaters, they're going to be badass. I'm telling you, Wilson's badass. But so is Birch and Thompson, and so does Matt Herron. Those 4. Now, big question marks at linebacker. Now, my nephew, who's the all-state, the #1 defensive player in the state of Utah 2 years ago, that beast. Oh, he's a beast. He's on a Mormon mission, but he'll be back next year playing linebacker here. He's all that and some. But AU is the linebacker coach. His nephew's on this team, but we'll see. That's a big question mark. Young DBs, big question mark. Young wide receivers, oh yeah, big question mark. But one thing that I'm sure of, Bankston, he's healthy. The 1-2 punch, that's Texas. They knew Calvin Hill. Those 2 together, and then Major Givens, he's wearing 30. They're going to be dynamite at running back. Now, those guys, I mean, Cormier was a freshman. He played last year, but the others got hurt. So, look out. That's all I got to say. Big Sky football is all that. I mean, look at the players in the NFL. So, anyway, let's cut this off. Stay tuned.